This is Shelton Benjamin.
This is Harley Race.
This is Mick Foley.
This is Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
This is the Monster Abyss.
This is Daniel Bryan.
This is JBL, and you're watching the MWF.
Be there live.
Wrestling fans from around the corner and around the world, welcome to another installment of Wrestling Insiders. I'm Dan Marotti, flying solo here at MWF Studios, just north of Boston, Melrose, Massachusetts, while John Cena Sr. is on assignment this summer. Let's check out the July 8th, 2015 edition of TNA Impact on Destination America from Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida. Fans, you truly are our tag team partners in keeping the Millennium Wrestling Federation and Boston Wrestling alive, continuing to bring you a wide variety of great free content online and our action-packed live events featuring the superstars and legends of yesterday, today, and tomorrow. You can make a welcome donation to us direct via PayPal using the email address bw@bostonwrestling.com, or help us by engaging with some of our partners. In the month of July, WWE Network presents two huge live events, both featuring Brock Lesnar in the Squared Circle. Beast in the East, July 4th in Tokyo, Japan, as well as the Battleground pay-per-view Sunday night, July the 19th from St. Louis, Missouri, as Lesnar takes on the WWE World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins, the first time Lesnar will have had a chance to get his hands on Rollins since WrestleMania. If you haven't subscribed to the best value in professional wrestling media as of yet, click on the link below and watch it on any online platform. You can also help us by doing your shopping on Amazon.com and WWEshop.com using our links below. No matter what you buy, even non-wrestling items on Amazon, we get a small kickback for leading you their way, and it does not increase your purchase 1 single cent. It's a great way to help us out while doing your regular shopping. We have a great online campaign headed your way this summer as we begin our 14th anniversary celebration. We'd also be happy if you joined us by subscribing for free to our YouTube channel. We're starting to close in on 800 free videos for your viewing pleasure, and if you enjoy what you see, please share it with your friends, and more than anything, click the like button on YouTube so it'll showcase more of our giant library to more and more of your fellow professional wrestling fans. In a day and age when indie and underground are cool, let's make this as big as it can possibly get, fans. We got a lot of great content for fans anywhere in the world to enjoy on YouTube, as well as the BostonWrestling.com super site. TNA did a great job with the highlight package, putting over Ethan Carter III, winning the TNA World Championship from Kurt Angle last week. Eons better than the pathetic job Ring of Honor did, not even announcing who won what they called their biggest match in company history until 19 days after the pay-per-view. After our review of Impact here, I'm going to discuss a little how all three companies on Wednesday nights have changed championships in the course of 3 weeks. I want to see who did the best job. Impact opened up with Ethan Carter III. Great promo, but it was confusing. His Aunt Dixie was returning, and the TNA Board of Directors was allowing him to book the show that night. That ruling made no sense in real life, and made even less sense in that Carter was booking himself in 3 matches on one show. Even a babyface would be an idiot to do something like that. Never mind a dastardly heel that should be far more sly and creative than that. Again, that's just one man's opinion. Matt Hardy came to the ring and said he wanted one of the championship matches. Carter declined. Hardy threatened to kick his ass as Tyra stepped in front of him, and Carter said he already had Hardy booked in a match for tonight, a tag team match indeed, against the Dirty Heels, but since Jeff Hardy's leg was broken, it was going to be a handicap match. The match started on the spot as EC3 joined the commentary team. It was a fine handicap match here in what's going to be apparently one of the final tag matches for the Dirty Heels and TNA, at least in the immediate future. Rising were in the ring for a promo after the commercial break for the very last time after they were being forced to disband after losing to the Beatdown Clan last week. Drew Galloway was very emotional, even though this faction was together for about 4 months. I don't think the fans were very invested in it at all. I keep forgetting what Eli Drake's name even is. He said this wasn't the end, it was the beginning. Carter was at ringside on an open mic mocking him. He said he booked a 6-man with a new faction. It wouldn't be the Beatdown Clan. It'd be Galloway all by himself since he doesn't have partners anymore against Abyss, Manic, and Koya of the Revolution. Abyss and Koya wound up having a little bit of heat with each other. Galloway drop-kicked them into each other, and they both fell out of the way. Galloway hit a big boot on Manic for the win. Galloway's push continues, but will Galloway turn into the top guy that he never became in WWE here in TNA as a babyface? That remains to be seen. His work is very good, and I'd like to see Manic break away from the nonsense that he's involved in right now because he's excellent too. In the back, Ken Anderson congratulated EC3 on winning the title and said he wanted one of the 3 championship matches. Carter said no because he was already booked against Bram. Anderson beat Bram via disqualification in a match that nobody cared about. After the match, Bram brought Kennedy up to the entranceway and beat him down with his own mic that came down from the ceiling. You know, I think Bram had a little bit of the wind taken out of his sails when he lost to Vader and got very little offense in against Vader. Again, I don't understand the thinking behind that. Despite Vader being one of the all-time greats in my opinion, he's just not a guy that's going to be able to go in 2015. Jesse Goddard's defeated Robbie E in a street fight in the Battle of the Former Bromans. Not sure why these guys were even split up, because they were a really good tag team and a company that doesn't have many tag teams. And I don't see Robbie E as a strong babyface. And on Goddard's as the 2015 Chris Masters isn't going to go far. E passed out in a Boston Crab, a la Steve Austin from WrestleMania 13, only with no heat. This match didn't need to be a hardcore street fight. It hasn't got to that point yet, and I don't think the fans were all that into it. EC3 defended the title against the man he defeated in his first TNA match, Norv Furnham. Carter went over on him with the 1%er really quick. In honor of Shock Week on the Discovery Channel, his second opponent was Shock Boy. He still had the Steve Austin-type theme song complete with the Gimme a Shell Yeah intro. Another quickie. As Carter was ready to introduce his third opponent, Kurt Angle came out and he said his legally binding contract authorizes him to have a rematch anytime he wants it, and he wanted it that night. Bobby Lashley made his way out to the ring next, as earlier in the show, Lashley challenged Carter to a title match, but Carter said that Lashley was already booked to face Tyrus. Lashley came away with the win over Tyrus with the spear. Would love to see Lashley as a top contender for Ethan Carter III's championship. Lashley's run as the champ was great and cut way too short as he was getting over. No apparent reason there other than to have a title change on TV. Bobby's the real deal. In part 2 of the Jeff Jarrett shoot interview, Jarrett said his legacy in TNA is going to speak for itself. He put over his matches with Kurt Angle and AJ Styles, as well as his pride over Bobby Roode, Eric Young, James Storm, Samoa Joe, the TNA Originals, even Don West. Again, this interview was way too quick. I would have liked to have seen more. Velvet Sky defeated Madison Rayne with her version of the Stunner in Knockouts action. In the main event, Kurt Angle defeated Ethan Carter III by disqualification. This was a good match, although nothing like last week's classic. Carter was trying to get counted out the entire time, telling the ref to count faster. He was doing a honky-tonk man, Larry Zbyszko stalling type action. I enjoyed that. For the finish, Angle had Carter in the ankle lock, and he just grabbed onto the referee and threw him for a disqualification. No need for the match this week. I thought it was too soon after the title change. Hopefully these two guys are going to be separated for a little bit. So the next time they meet up for the TNA Championship, it's going to have a little bit more buzz to it, a little bit more build-up. After the commercial break, Carter interviewed his Aunt Dixie. I believe this is her first appearance since Bully Ray put her through the table last summer. Dixie said she was wrong, she lied and hurt people. She said Ethan's out of control and that Impact doesn't belong to her, it belongs to the fan. She said someone needs to be in charge of the locker room to make sure TNA is the best wrestling company on the planet each week. No announcement as to who it was as the show went off the air. Impact was fine this week. Not everything was great, but nothing I really rolled my eyes at. There have been far worse episodes this summer to the point where I've gotten angry when I've watched it. Last week's show was superb. This episode got the now champion Carter over even stronger as a heel and ended the show with a decent tease. Let's see where things head to the next Impact, and TNA really needs a big summer in the position they're in TV-wise right now. And isn't it something that all three of the major players in the Wednesday Night Wars had their titles change hands between June 19th and July the 4th? Who had the best execution here? Well, NXT upped its ante, having the title switch take place outside of Full Sail University and put it on Finn Balor in Tokyo, which made for an emotional moment that's going to stick with the fan. WWE Hall of Famer Tatsumi Fujinami came out to the ring to congratulate him, and then in a pre-tape segment in the locker room, John Cena put Finn Balor over as he was emotional greeting some of his fellow athletes. It doesn't get much better than that with Cena being the face of the company. TNA built up Ethan Carter III as close to perfection as you're going to get since his debut in the fall of 2013. He finally beat one of the greatest athletes of our generation in Kurt Angle. They followed up the championship win by giving Carter a near 2-hour platform to get himself over even stronger as the top heel on the July 8th Impact before Aunt Dixie returned to take some of the wind out of his sails with a little bit of a cliffhanger as to who's going to be running the locker room and making the matches. In Ring of Honor, man, they dropped the ball on this one. I understand the position they were in as far as their program airing on Destination America. I'm from Boston, so this is my first chance to watch the product on TV. They called Briscoe and Lethal the biggest match in company history. They did next to nothing on the TVs to make it seem all that special, especially in a day and age where you have the internet, Twitter, Facebook. They waited 19 days to even announce who the winner was on their TV show, whether it's Destination America or Ring of Honor who made the decision to air the shows they did June 25th and July 1st. It was a bad decision that did the company no favors as far as building up its top star. Again, that's just my opinion. I've always been a big fan of Jay Lethal's. He competed here in the Millennium Wrestling Federation from 2007 through 2011. He was our TV champion. He needs to be presented far better on Ring of Honor TV to fit the role they want to portray him as. Again, that's just one man's opinion, but I'm pretty certain I'm not wrong on this one, fans. Ring of Honor needs to do more to get over who they have on the TV each week and who and what the Ring of Honor product even is. 6 episodes in now, they should have done something as opposed to nothing. Would love to hear your thoughts on TNA Impact this week. Feel free to share your opinions in the comment section below. Don't forget to check out our Ring of Honor and NXT Wednesday Night War videos this week, along with nearly 800 other free videos on our YouTube channel. Until we speak again, you and yours, be well.